Xbox on.
Game on, baby! Wow!
Don't make a girl a promise you can't keep.
Let's do this.
Hello and welcome to Xbox One Party Chat Podcast, the official podcast of the Xbox One subreddit. I'm your host, Ross Miller, and this week I'm joined by our MV Cheese. It's Rhys.
Hey now! That's never going to get old.
Nope. And our queen of cosplay. It's Carina.
Hey now! Gotta join in.
Yeah. Hey, you started it.
And I don't actually have a really good name for you, Rich. I'm sorry, so I'm just going to call you Uncle Rich.
To be honest, I was hoping the Queen of Cosplay was referring to me. But maybe that's just on Fridays. Hi, it's Rich, True Achievement.
Yep,
Hello.
it's Rich Stone from True Achievement. Thanks for taking the time to replace Uncle Jesse, who's up to probably Uncle Jesse business. I know I said something different from Uncle Jesse there, and I wouldn't exactly say what I was going to say.
Wait.
But anyway, we usually get this podcast started with what we have been playing, and as we have a much esteemed guest, and Rich, I'm going to start with you.
Oh, what an honour. Thank you. I have been playing God of War most recently, but because that's not really relevant, apart from being good, I'll talk about what I played just before that. So I just finished Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice. Any of you played that?
Yes, it was our game of the week.
Okay.
Last week or the week before? Last week.
Did you finish it?
I did.
Okay. Did you find the ending pretty crazy and dark and moody? No spoilers, obviously.
Yes,
Yeah.
I did.
No, I've not finished it
But-
yet.
I mean,
Spoilers.
that was entirely what I was expecting, considering what the game had provided me so far.
Not quite, yeah, I did just crank it up.
I didn't like the ending credits music, though. I thought they were really inappropriate.
Yeah, no, there was, to be honest, the whole of the last hour was quite unsettling, including the credits. But I really enjoyed it. I thought some of the puzzles needed a bit more signposting. There was a few occasions where I was sort of wandering around, wondering what I was supposed to be doing. But I got there in the end. I didn't have to use a guide, so that's all cool. And at the same time I was playing that, I was finishing off Far Cry 5, which is my game of 2018 and probably 2019 and 2020 as well. Absolutely.
Really?
I thought it was brilliant. Yeah, absolutely. I've already put 45 hours into it. And I've just got the fishing challenges left.
I'm going to have to play this, aren't I?
This one. Did you enjoy Far Cry? Have you played any of the Far Cries?
I played Far Cry 1 and 2, and
Okay.
that was enough. And then I played Far Cry Blood Dragon, and that was definitely enough. But I mean,
No, you've chosen the worst 3 games in the series.
no, Blood Dragon was amazing.
Oh, was it? Okay. I think 3 was the best before I played 5, and 4 was just behind 3. So they're all pretty good. If you buy the special edition of 5, you get the remastered 3, which is coming next month. So I'm actually going to play that again. I don't often play games twice, but Far Cry 3 deserves a second play.
See, I've played Far Cry 5, and I know Carina has as well, and I think that is just a superb game, and I had zero hype for Far Cry, you know, and when it actually landed and I got my hands on it, this game is everything. Like, let's face it, Sea of Thieves doesn't have fishing, much to Jez Coffman's dismay. You know,
Ironically, the
Poor
game
Jez.
with all the water doesn't have the fish.
yeah, but, you know, this ticked a couple of boxes, including fishing, so I look forward to spending more time there, actually. And it's got a great character, what a great, I was going to say end-boss, that's not the word I'm looking for. What would be the word?
Villain?
Villain?
The villain, that's
Yeah.
exactly
No, I
correct.
thoroughly enjoyed Far Cry.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, I've not played. I've played Far Cry 4. I've seen the rest of them, the others, but no, I thoroughly enjoyed Far Cry 5. The storylines were pretty cool. I really enjoyed them.
It was the opening scene, really. The opening 15 minutes just grabbed me, and then it didn't let me go for the next 42 hours.
Well, Rhys, what about you? What have you been playing this week?
Obviously, I've been playing our indie game of the week, Owlboy, which we'll talk about later, no doubt. But other than that, I have been playing. I played a bit more Phantom Trigger, and I was streaming that, and I tried out it has mixer interaction, as you well know, Ross, because Ross chimed in and decided to spawn a whole bunch of enemies at the worst possible time, or like cussed him out. But yeah, it's actually kind of cool. You can help or hinder. You can give health, or you can spawn enemies. And if you spawn an enemy, it has your name on it, so you know, like, that someone has sent this guy after you, which is pretty funny.
Oh,
So, yeah,
that was
I've
like,
played that.
God damn it, Ross. I never even introduced myself in the stream. I just spawned a couple of enemies.
Yeah, he didn't say anything. Just suddenly there was enemy, and he waited until like my view was obscured by something in the foreground, so I couldn't see myself, and he spawned them in then. It was.
Can I ask a question at a slight tangent? Was this the first game that you've used the interaction on Mixer with?
Me personally, yes, it is the
Okay.
first. It's not the first game I've gone into people playing other games and used it on them, but this is the first time anyone's ever done it to me.
Okay, and does it work well? Because we stream twice a week, and we stream ID games a lot, so we don't often have games that have interaction in them, but we will definitely have this one. So if it's something that worked really well, I'm quite keen
it was
to try this
flawless. I didn't notice any problems. Did you guys?
No, it worked flawlessly as well. I have played a game with Carina, actually, with a lot of interaction, and that is Deep Rock Galactic, a former
Oh, yeah.
title of the week, yeah.
Oh, I had a lot of interaction with that.
When you say interaction.
Why?
So you do, with that one, you can spawn some really, really big, massive enemies that totally change the game for you, or you can help them. And I think people just enjoyed Carina and I basically getting slaughtered on
It
stream.
just kept spawning Dreadnought,
Yeah.
Dreadnought.
constantly, and I was just like, oh, I'm gonna die, and then I died, and
Well, I mean, we
It
had
was
the
funny.
developer on here, you remember? And we asked him about it, and he was just like, I like to go into people's streams and to just randomly spawn all the biggest enemies. I was like, it's the developer, man. You're not supposed to do that.
Cool, we're going to try that. I'm well up for that.
Yeah, man, it's great. And it's 2-player co-op. I don't know if it's online, but I know it's local.
Okay, perfect.
But yeah, so I played that, and I also played some more Sea of Thieves. I was helping out a friend on a charity stream. That was actually really fun. We sank some ships, and we fought the Kraken for the first time ever. And we beat a skull fort for the first time ever. So we actually did some of the stuff instead of just sailing around like twats. That's basically it for me this week. I think I've actually been kind of busy. I played a little bit of the Swapper. That's what I did.
Okay, I've played that.
It's nice.
The original? Or is there not a sequel for that now?
No, you're
I
thinking.
don't think so.
No?
You're thinking of the Fall.
Oh yeah, I get mixed up. The Swapper's
They look
the one we
very
clone.
similar.
They do look very similar.
Yeah.
The
But
swap is
no,
the
the-
one where you can place up to 4 characters and then swap into them.
Yeah,
around.
exactly. And they all move at the same time.
Yeah.
And it's like a puzzle game based around that. That's actually quite good. I was enjoying the puzzles. The achievements are terrible.
Yeah.
As the guy who runs the authority on achievements,
I can tell you the achievements. I think they're all missable. So
Yeah.
they're all hidden.
and they're hidden.
They're all in really horrible places.
Like the very first one, get
Oh,
this,
that's annoying.
you have to actually, it's impossible to find without a guide, basically, because you have to basically, like do a teleport jump where you teleport, like you spawn a clone above yourself, teleport into him and then quickly repeat that. So you sort of go up. You have to do that up through a section of the wall, of the
So
roof.
you can't see anything.
Yeah. And then you have to go to the right through the wall behind like this invisible wall until this really dark room where the achievement is when you activate the thing. It's awful.
Yeah. I have actually got that one.
Yeah. Oh, I was just like, this is just, you know how I got that achievement? Your website.
Yeah, well, thanks.
Karina,
Yeah,
do you have
it's-
that achievement?
I have many achievements. I've got all the achievements. I'm drowning in them.
Yeah.
As we've discovered every pod week, I am drowning in so many achievements right now.
What games have you been playing to get all these achievements, Karina?
Ones that don't have achievements.
The worst
I might have been playing. I've been playing PUBG again. What a surprise! I actually tried out the new map. So on Xbox now, I'm going to pronounce this wrong. Miramar. Is that what it's
That's
called?
right, yeah.
Yep.
I got it right. Okay. Apparently people call it Mirror as well, but same thing. I tried that map out. Oh my god, it's so open. it is like a sniper's dream. But as we all know, I just panic and run and zigzag, and yeah, that's not going to end well for me. Although I think I did well in my first game. Unfortunately, the test servers are like early hours, like 1-2 a.m. So I kind of like was playing at that time. So I only got a few games in before I kind of like went to sleep. But no, the new map's quite interesting. I mean, I know it's already out on PC, but in terms of the Xbox, it's quite fresh. Weirdly enough, it runs better than the normal map, and I don't know why. Because I still crash and get bugged and rubber banding so much on the normal map. That one, I didn't have a single problem, which I don't know why. I don't know if it's just because there was like not necessarily less people, but I don't know. I don't know, but I really enjoyed it.
Maybe they built it a bit more optimized than the first one.
Yeah, that's probably it. I mean, yeah, they should. I don't know. They still need to focus on the first map. There's still the same issues that I had like at the beginning and the crashes and stuff. But no, I did the same thing I do every week and play PUBG. But I did also play a bit more Fortnite, mainly because by the time this podcast goes out, season 4 will be out. I've heard it's superhero themed, which should be really interesting. So I've been trying to earn some V-Bucks because I have Save the World. I've been playing Save the World, so trying to earn some V-Bucks ready to buy the Battle Pass for next season.
Have you been playing anything else, Carina?
No. I've just been playing the same old PUBG Fortnite. I need to actually see the sun.
The wife of a streamer.
The very little sun that we have in England, but yeah.
Well, for myself, I also checked out Miramar. I played a squad, a duo, and 3 solo games. And as Carina alluded to earlier, I really do think that this game, or this map, is really open. You have to play it totally different. And I do actually think it is more suited for solo games, or maybe duos, than the squads, because squads can get taken down in seconds in that map, but I don't have the same issues as you, Carina, but you're playing on the OG Xbox, aren't you? Whereas I'm on X.
Yeah, unfortunately, my OG is like, I don't think it's a day one, but I think it's close enough, and yeah, it's had its time, so trying to run anything, especially when I crash, it takes up. I'm surprised I even survive when I crash.
Yeah, but I don't encounter the same issues on the first map, but as you said earlier, this map seems to run really, really well. There wasn't any drops of frames. It just felt a lot more smooth, but I was really enjoying. I don't usually enjoy solos because I'm not that brilliant a player, but I was really, really enjoying it. It was last night I was playing, and yeah, I'm actually excited for this map to go live and try it out more. That is essentially all I've been playing this week. This is probably a good point to take us on to our indie game of the week. Rhys, do the introduction.
I don't know why I'm doing the introduction. You're the one who wanted to play this game this week, Ross.
That is a very valid point. Okay, I'll do it. So this week's ID Xbox game of the week is Owlboy, which is made by D-Pad Studio, if I believe.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, so you play a boy, as you could called Otis, who's a sort of owl-human hybrid race, and it is a 2D platformer. And I absolutely love this game. It ticks a lot of nostalgia boxes. This is the second time I've played it after receiving it in a Humble Bundle, and I remember I watched a couple of videos about it, and to put it down, the game is heavily inspired by specifically Super Mario Brothers 3.
Nice.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, I'm just going to cut in here because I think that's a really bad comparison.
Oh no, it's the reverse mechanic of Super Mario Brothers 3, if that makes sense.
The reverse mechanic, I mean, it's not even a platformer because you're an owl boy, you fly. It's more like a twin stick shooter. Honestly, you use both sticks to aim and fly, and you shoot. It's like a puzzle solving twin stick shooter. I don't know why people are calling it a platformer.
I still think it's got the platform mechanic though, because you are constantly aware of your surroundings. You're trying to make it to the next area as well as the shooting. I generally think that I would call this a platformer. I wouldn't call it anything else. Like, what would you define the genre?
Well, I mean, in a platform, you have to jump, in my opinion, between platforms. Yep. And there's a couple of times when you have to do that, when they take away your flight power, but 90% of it is flying and shooting and puzzle solving. But it is fun.
Okay, according to the official website, it is a platform adventure, so I'm claiming victory.
We're calling it a Metroidvania platformer.
It is very Metroidvania.
I was about to mention that. The dungeons are very Metroidvania, aren't they? If you call them dungeons.
So, Carina, what's your thoughts on it?
I really like the art style and the music. I mean, I know I should really comment on gameplay, but I was kind of really like, I don't know, it's just very nice. Oh, I don't like the word nice. The word nice is horrible. It was very, I don't know, it's eccentric. I just like it all. It was very cohesive, and I just liked how it all flowed. I've not really played too much. I played about an hour's worth, so I've done the first ruin dungeon, whatever you want to call it, area. But I'm quite far off. I've got lots and lots to do, but I will continue. I am quite enjoying it. At first, I was a bit confused because I didn't really know what was going on and where to go and where to fly. But eventually, I kind of got the plot and went away with it. But no, I'm quite liking it. But yeah, I'd say it's very Metroidvania in the ruins, definitely. But in terms of whether it's a twin stick shooter or platformer, I'll leave that to you guys to argue out.
There you go. A vertical platformer. How about that?
Oh, I like
vertical.
it.
Oh.
You do spend a lot of time in the game ascending. It has a very sort of, I don't know, there's some sort of psychology there that you constantly ascend. It feels nice. And it is very pretty. It's got sort of the 16-bit SNES style graphics, but with really nice effects and really beautiful music.
Yeah, one thing, as I said, or as someone else alluded to, the music in it is particularly good. And do you feel as if that's got the nostalgia feel to it? It does feel like a sort of Super NES title, I would say.
Yeah, that's what I said, SNES.
Yeah.
Is that what you call it in the UK? The Super NES?
Yeah,
we're good with SNES.
SNES, yeah.
SNES. Well, see, I actually said this while I was streaming the game earlier today, that it looks better than a SNES can ever do. The animations are so smooth, and all the parallaxing and stuff looks so much nicer. And the sounds, the music, they're way, way better than a SNES can do, right? But in a way, it looks like you remember the game looking. And it sounds like the way you remember those games sounding, even though they don't, because when you go back to a lot of games that are really old, they don't look or sound as good as you sort of remembered them as a child. So it captures the nostalgia, but keeps it good, if that makes sense. Especially the music, it's orchestral and uses really nice instruments that you can't get on a Super Nintendo, but it still sort of feels like a Super Nintendo music. Does that make sense, Ross? You played this game.
Yeah.
Carina,
I know what you mean. Is it a modern style going for a retro feel?
Yeah. That's a very short way of saying what I took ages to say.
I'll tell you what I liked about this game is I did feel as if the mechanic was different from any other platformers. There's been some really good platformers out in Xbox this year with Celeste and towards the end of last year, like Cuphead, and very different art styles and mechanics. And this to me was just another thing to add on to that list. It captured me. The main character in it is actually really, really likeable as a sort of layabout failure right at the beginning of the game throughout going on a journey to basically become a hero. And I know that's a bit cliched, but actually it works for the character. He talks back to his sort of mentor. The mentor absolutely detests him. The village people sort of detest him. And it just captured my imagination from the beginning. And I'm enjoying playing through it for a second time, which, if I'm honest, I had no desire to do with something like Celeste or Cuphead.
That pain can only be, it's like a one and done thing, like Meat Boy.
Yeah.
But I have to say, you're talking about unique mechanics.
Yeah.
This is the only game I have ever seen that has clouds that you grab and squeeze to cause rain to fill up basins. That is a completely unique mechanic that I experienced within the game.
Yeah, no,
mild spoilers, but what the hell?
But anyway, do you want to get your hands on this game, and will it hoot for you this week? Well, it's the only reason I wanted to get this game on is for that terrible pun.
Oh, you should have seen the puns that were in the chat while I was streaming. They were talking about when I got pulled up by the because in the game you're like the elder owls are constantly like telling you how awful you are, constantly pulling you up and giving you what for. And someone said this is an oligarchy.
Oh, that's worse. That is worse.
That was just the worst.
But anyway, if you want to get your hands on this game, make sure you check out our Twitter at PartyChatPod on Friday, where you can win yourself a copy. And also congratulations to Carol Greenwell, who won the big prize that we had for our 100th episode, which was 10 ID at Xbox Games. Congratulations on winning those. But I think as we have a guest on now, Rich, I want to ask you some questions if you're up for it.
Oh, go on then.
So, first of all, it was your 10th birthday last month at...
not my personally.
Yeah, not his personal 10th birthday.
And my 5-year-old daughter. But yeah, it was the site's 10th birthday in March, middle of March. So we had a few birthday type celebrations. We did a history of TA podcast where I just rambled on for about an hour and 45 minutes about the history of the site, how it came about, all the ups and downs of the last 10 years, what it's like working or leaving my job really to go and do this full time, which was a scary proposition. But we also did some really cool stuff. So we did a new community challenge, which we're doing a community challenge every few months where the community are tasked with doing something. And for this one, they had to spell happy birthday true achievements, using achievement unlocks. So you had to unlock one that started with an H, followed by one that started with an A, followed by one that started with a P, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And about 6,000 people participated and about 3,000 finished.
Wow.
Which is pretty
Wow,
impressive.
that's better than I expected.
Yeah, it was a really
Awesome.
impressive, an impressive effort by the community. To be honest, our community is quite nuts on achievements anyway. So any excuse to go and crack out some old games that they had some missing achievements in, they jump at it. So that went really well. And to coincide with all that, we had our busiest month ever on the site. So nearly 4 million people used through achievements in March, which is a record for us. So,
Congratulations!
Now, I like to take personal responsibility for that, if I'm honest, because of the achievement challenge we were doing, people wanting to challenge us with that. I think that's what drove everyone to want.
Yeah, absolutely.
I will send you the check, Ross.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, thanks for that.
Problem.
That's what I wanted.
Wait. No. Care of Party Chat. Right.
So, how does it feel to be one of the biggest, independent sites that people are visiting? That you are, obviously Reddit is an independent site with huge followers and it's a different type of news. You do everything from news, reviews, videos, obviously the achievements. You've got an app, an Xbox One. How does it feel to be this involved in the Xbox community?
It feels amazing. It's been, obviously over 10 years. None of this has happened overnight. It's been a slow and steady ride to get to where we are now. So it's not like it doesn't feel like it's just happened. And our users gradually go up month by month a little bit. So, it's nothing hugely dramatic, but, it's awesome to be involved. I have the best job in the world. Look, I went to one of my daughter's, friend's parents' parties on Saturday and they were all talking about what they did for a living. And someone asked me, and I find it hard to explain what I do because it's a bit weird when you're in a room with, people that have regular in quotes jobs and I run an Xbox site and they're just like, what? That's not a career. But when I talk a bit more about the site, and in fact, one of the guys I spoke to was like, oh, which one is it? I said, it's True Achievements. He's like, no way, man. I'm a member of True Achievements. I've been on that site for months. It's like, that's pretty cool when people have recognition and stuff like that. So yeah, it's amazing. It's a very satisfying job to have. I get to go and do fun things. Like last week, Ubisoft invited me to Mercedes-Benz World to do the Crew 2 play session. That game's not out for a couple of months yet, but we got 3 hours with the game. And then they asked me if I wanted to do a driving experience. So I managed to drive an AMG C63 at a ridiculously fast speed without killing myself, which was two good things really that came out.
Congrats.
That day.
I mean, it wouldn't have been a bad way to go out.
No, that's true. Although my instructor, who was sat in the passenger seat, was a police officer for 30 years in the traffic division. So I had to be reasonably careful, and I asked him not to follow me home as well, because once you've been driving like that, you get the feel for it.
Well, you got to take the car home?
No. I got into my car and drove back.
I was going to say, Ubisoft pressers are a bit different to what I've been told.
Yeah.
10
No,
out
you
of
get
10,
a free
10 out of
gift.
10.
You get a free gift every time now, and this just happens to be an AMG. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, getting to do stuff like that's amazing. And I got my Gamescom Games Pass, press pass through for Gamescom this week as well, which is my favourite week of the year.
Totally jealous.
So very much looking forward to it.
I need to go. I really need to go Gamescom.
You do, Carina. You need to go.
No, I'm going next year. I've already decided. Definitely going next year.
It's worth it.
I ate currywurst at Gamescom, Carina. You need to get in on that.
What's that? Currywurst?
Yeah. So everything, all
curry?
food in Cologne is suffixed by the word wurst, and it's transformed into a sausage shape.
Yes.
So currywurst is a curried sausage, basically.
It's curried sausage. Yes.
I can't wait to try haggis first.
I was eating haggis-wurst. I was eating currywurst with Rich and Chris Charla and Agostino Simonetta, and I was wearing a pirate outfit. It was a strange evening. all these men standing around, and then me in a pirate outfit as well, and we're all eating curried sausages. It was great.
That's the type of thing that happens at Gamescom.
Yeah.
Can I just point out that when Rich got his invite through, he immediately decided to come in our Discord and post a picture of it. Just to,
No, make us jealous.
So I left the barcode off as well.
yeah.
Damn. I was just scrolling up.
Now, I believe some beers drank there. Now, the last time and the first time I met you, Rich, was actually at EGX in the UK, and we just got drunk together, and then you went home.
I went home, yeah, and the next day you went to Rare. You were quite impressive that you had a full day the next day as well. But yeah, I went home. Yeah, in fact, I only came to Birmingham for the party, so I actually didn't go to EGX at all. Which is pretty poor form, really. But I'd just come back from Gamescom, so I'd seen everything. And Gamescom's a bit different because if you get a press pass, you can go on the press day, and there's no public, so you can just play the games. You don't have to queue. Which makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
No, it's true.
But if you've just done that the week before, why would you queue up for 3 hours to play the same demo? You wouldn't.
Yeah.
So that was why. And there were some people going to be at that party that I needed to see. And you were one of them.
Oh, I feel quite glad about that, Rich. Feel quite glad.
It was a fun time.
It was.
Also, what Rich is saying is definitely true. Emma was telling me, while at Gamescom, she showed me like the swag that she had run around in the morning collecting before anyone else had gotten there. She ran around to all the things and just hoovered up as much swag as she could carry, and then took it back. And then,
hey, that's the best bit of conventions.
Yeah.
Free swag. We take an extra bag just for swag.
Yeah. But that's what you do on press day. You collect all the things.
It's like if you ever manage to come along to one of these conventions, then do take an extra bag. That is a very good advice from Carina. She's got it mainly because her cosplay's fallen apart, so she's got somewhere to store it.
Yeah, basically.
So, Rich, what is next for True Achievement? What are we going to see in the future?
We will continue to do everything we can to make the site better, faster. We're currently looking at a responsive design. So we're hoping to, at the moment we serve mobile devices, a different version of the site. So we're currently working on a way that we can serve a responsive site to both desktop and mobile, which will allow us to cache our pages around the world much faster. So at the moment, all of our servers are in the UK. So if you're in the UK, the site is super quick. But if you're in America or Australia, it's a bit slower. So we're going to be working on providing a global good experience to all of our users, because we have 50% of our users are from the US.
Right.
50%?
Yeah. 25% UK, 50% US, about 15% Europe, and then
About 15
South
from
America.
Finland.
Yes, exactly. Loads of wonderful people in Finland.
Not percent. I mean about 15.
15 people.
Yeah. Everyone who owns an Xbox in Finland.
Yeah. So yeah, we're working on that performance-wise. We're working on new challenges for the community. The community absolutely love our challenges. We'll be working on a new Ultimate Head-to-Head at some point, which is our knockout competition, where you get given a random list of achievements in games that you've started before but you haven't earned against someone else, and you race against the clock to try and unlock as many as you can.
That's cool.
Yeah, we've had 3 of those so far. So UHH Ultimate Head-to-Head 4 will be coming soon. Yeah, we just continue to do stuff like that and giving people the features that they want.
I mostly use True Achievements actually for guides. I think that
Yeah.
you guys have the best guides. I just go straight there. I don't bother with anyone else. I don't even Google. I just go to your website and search there.
Yeah, I mean, that's how we started, really. So we had the true score, so getting more score for achievements that are harder. And then the first thing someone suggested as soon as I wrote a forum was we should have a way to upload guides to getting achievements. So that was literally job number 2 pretty much on my to-do list from when the site was started. So yeah, that gave us a good grounding, I think. And the community is just awesome. I mean, obviously the community are the people that put the guides up. So without those guys, the site would be nothing, and always massively indebted to our community. They're a wonderful, wonderful bunch.
Rich, I actually wanted to ask about how the rest of the True Achievement family is going, because that's not the only, like the Xbox version is not the only version of your site out there. Is that correct?
That is correct. So True Achievements is the original and the best. Don't
Obviously.
tell anybody that. So that's, as I said, that's 10 years old this year. But True Trophies, our PlayStation site, is going to be 5 in June.
Oh.
So to coincide with the 5th birthday of that, we're going to be doing a whole load of challenges over there. We've got some brand new features coming to True Trophies that no other PlayStation site has. So if you do have a PlayStation, get yourself over to True Trophies and sign
If you
up.
do, I think you mean if you do have a PlayStation, get yourself an Xbox. I'm kidding.
Yeah, as well, obviously. And you can link your accounts on across the sites as well, so you can have a little panel on your TA profile that shows all your PlayStation stuff, and vice versa on your TT panel. So yeah, the sites coexist quite nicely between each other. So yeah, that's another thing. We are putting a lot of effort into True Trophies for the rest of this year as well.
So what we need to do now is petition Nintendo to get like Nin achievements, and then it'll be sweet.
I own True Switch.
Just in case.
Just in case. And in fact, I bought myself a Labo for this weekend, so that should be interesting.
Oh, have you tried it yet? I'm curious.
I'm saving it.
Did you just call it a Labo?
A Labo.
It's Labo.
Labo? Is it?
Oh, okay.
Like laboratory.
Pizza box? It's a pizza
calling
box?
it-
Pizza box.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
an
With the pizza boxes.
£80 pizza box. I mean, I love Nintendo, but what?
I don't know. My wife's going on a hen weekend this weekend, so I am spending the entire weekend with my 5-year-old daughter, and I need to entertain her in some way. So I thought, what better than cardboard?
Really expensive.
So I bought a box, and she sat in it for a bit, and then that was no good. So I've gone with a Labo, as I'm now going to be calling it. Thank you.
Yep,
for
good man.
educating me on that front. Before I
This is
embarrass
called as,
myself.
Pubga. Is that what was one else called?
PUBG. Oh, God.
Yeah, Robocraft Infinity, call it PUBG.
PUBG. So yeah, that should be fun. But yeah, don't try and sign up on True Switch at the moment because it's just a holding page. There is nothing there. But one day Nintendo will come good. Come on.
Oh, they need to hurry up. I'm playing Zelda, and it's just like, oh, there's so many fun achievements they could put into this game that would make it so much more fun. I'm playing Mario Odyssey, and I'm like, oh, give me some achievements up in here, boys. Come on, it would be so fun.
So you know the Minecraft on Switch has achievements?
Yes, I know, and it's awful because it shows me that it could be done, and Nintendo just aren't doing it. It hurts. Please, Nintendo, I love you, but don't be this way. So now I really think it's time that we talk about these achievements. Don't you, Clay? Don't you, Ross? Don't you, Carina?
No.
No?
No.
So, Rich, you are obviously the most appropriate man perhaps on the planet to have in here as the master of ceremonies. So why don't you go ahead and read off the final scores for us,
Okay,
please?
I have donned my tuxedo for this moment.
Very good.
So in 4th place is let's do the score. With 385 gamer score is Carina.
Wow, that's so embarrassing.
I think Ross, you're going to edit in some sort of trouble here.
Too much PUBG there, Carina, I think is the problem.
Yeah, I'm going to blame PUBG.
Yes. Okay, PUBG. Let's do the third position just in front of Carina with 855. Gamer score was Ross.
Yeah, the people's champion.
The people's champion.
Let the people down.
Okay, with a much more impressive score, but still only in the runners-up spot. With 4,895, gamer score was Clay.
Woo.
That is a score to be proud of. How long was this contest for, by the way?
1 month.
1 month. Okay, cool.
That makes Carina's score.
I thought it might be a week, and then I was going to get really impressed. Okay, and then the winner, without further ado, with amazing 8,105 gamer score, is Rhys.
Oh,
yay! Clay, where's the sound?
When did you get it so friggin' high? Holy cow, man!
You don't know what's best is I was salty because Friday, Saturday, and Sunday I wasn't able to gain any achievements because I was house sitting. I was all set to get all the way.
Well, just to point that out, we did ask the viewers if they could beat us, and let's face it, anyone with a spare hour could beat Carina and I.
Spare 10 minutes. Pop in Avatar: The Last Airbender, and in a spare 5 minutes you got 1,000 points.
But Manic Meat on Twitter actually contacted us because he finished the month on exactly 10,000 gamer score.
Yeah, exactly 10,000, by the way. And see, he sent me a message on, like, just randomly on Xbox Live saying, "I'm coming for your score." Like, that's all it said. No context, no nothing. I was like, who the crap is this? And I was like, oh, okay. And he had like 1,000 points, like 2 weeks ago. And I was like, bring it, you know. And then he got every day closer. Then he started sending some tweets like getting closer. And I'm just like here, like, you know, my shirt collar is starting to feel really tight and I'm starting to sweat a little bit. And he absolutely destroyed me this weekend. So well done.
Congratulations. What was he called again?
Manic Meat FC. There's if you look at his gamer tag, it's Manic Meat as one FC after it. I don't know what that stands for. What does FC stand for?
Germany Football Club.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just to let you know, I would have come third, as I scored 1,265 gamer score in April.
But you're too busy running up what popular
websites.
Yeah,
to be fair, I was doing a lot of Far Cry 5. I got 16 achievements in Far Cry 5, which probably took me 20, 30 hours, and all of Hellblade. So that was it.
I didn't even play one Telltale game. Like, I wasn't serious, was I?
Me either. I should have. Clay and I did play Late Shift, though.
Oh, that's a good game.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, thank you so much, Rich, for announcing the result that no one wanted to hear. But we'll be looking you, Manic Meat FC, with a little bit of a prize. I think we'll give you an ID Xbox title. So I'll reach out to you on Twitter and we can give you that when this podcast releases. So in case anyone hasn't noticed, Clay has joined us. Must be running late or something like that. But thanks for joining us, Clay.
Some of us actually have to work.
I wouldn't mind a job, actually, if anyone's listening.
I mean, some of us can't game all day to get ridiculous achievement scores.
Some of us shouldn't throw down and then get confused when people take them up on the offer.
Right, well, anyway, in the UK, there used to be a TV programme called Room 101, and as this is the 101st episode of the podcast, I have a little bit of a new segment. The show was putting things which are generally popular that a celebrity, you Rich, or probably Uncle Jesse actually.
Well, I've never been called that before.
That they didn't like. So going against the grain. So I'm going to ask all of you one question what popular game did you not like, and would you actually put in the bin? That's what I want to know. What popular game would you put in the bin? And as you're our guest, I'm going to start with you, Rich.
Okay. Well, choosing one game, I think, is weak. I'm going full throttle on this. I'm choosing a whole genre. What about that?
Okay.
And I'm choosing RPGs.
Whoa.
Putting RPGs in the bin.
Ow.
Because they're too
I think
long.
everyone on PlayStation just had a shiver down their spine.
Yeah, well, good. They're too long, right? That's the first problem. Secondly, they're always set in a fantasy world, which is just stupid. Thirdly, you have to take stuff out of your bag in order to put stuff back in it, which is just really annoying. Thirdly, you have these ridiculous skill trees, which is just so complicated that you just don't know what to do. And I could go on, but they're just a waste of everybody's time. Don't play RPGs, folks. Stop encouraging these developers to make RPGs. What we want is a nice, quick shooter that we can finish in about 4 or 5 hours, or a racing game.
I'm just going straight to Twitter. Don't play RPGs. Stop encouraging these people. Rich from True Achievements 2018.
Honestly,
That's
if I
the
could,
quote.
I'd give them all 0 score on TA.
So, question, Witcher 3, greatest game of a generation or not?
Right, the worst thing about this, this is the worst thing. So everybody gets really excited about RPGs, and I look on TA and I see my friend feed, and everybody's playing, Witcher 3, Witcher 3. And I look on Metacritic, and it's 95 out of 100 after 90 reviews. So I think, I'm going to have to buy it. This is going to be the one RPG that changes my mind. Half an hour in, I want to punch myself in the face. And normally, half an hour in, I haven't even earned a single achievement. They're broken. So I keep falling for it. Honestly, I've got one achievement in Witcher 3. I've got one achievement in Skyrim. I've got one achievement in Oblivion. Every 3 years, I get sucked into the RPG hype. And then I'm about £200 lighter than I would be had I not. So don't play them.
I think this is a great way to introduce the segment, to be honest with you. Entire RPGs in the bin. But Rhys, what about you? What would you put in the bin?
Well, I also think that one game is a little bit rough. I think I'm going to go with a series. I'm not going to go all in like Rich and then just bin an entire genre, but I will bin an entire series.
Okay.
Uncharted.
Oh.
In the bin. It's not a game. It just plays itself. It's more or less a glorified action movie. The main character is an insufferable twit. The story is juvenile. The characters are poorly written, but have good banter, so people tend to like them. And I think it's just pedestrian, completely and utterly pedestrian.
Wow. Someone just talked bad about a Naughty Dog game.
I did. You know what? Sony exclusives are all the same.
Oh, no, we're not going down
They
that
are
route.
all the same.
No.
Okay, I want you guys to think about every time you've been playing a Sony exclusive game, right? And you've boosted someone up higher for them to either pull you up or go and open the door. How many games have you, as a father figure, guarding over a small child who helps? They're all the same.
That definitely happened to me this week in God of War.
You ain't that a boy.
Right, okay. Swiftly moving on.
Yeah, you asked. It's in the bin. All of Uncharted. Straight there. You can stay there with your wisecracks, Nathan Drake.
Carina, what about you?
FIFA. Sick of it.
Oh,
Sick of
right from me. Exact same thing.
Sick of it.
World's second most popular game. That's a hefty target.
Kicking
Which
a ball around a field, and I can't even slide into the guy to knock him over to steal the ball
what's
from
the
him.
fun?
What kind of
If you
sport?
tackle
What
him,
kind of
you get a
sport
red
is that?
Why can't you just punch him up and then steal the ball and run off with it?
There was a couple of soccer games like that. Oh, sorry, football, where it's a very European podcast today. A couple of football games like that were on, I believe, the OG Xbox. I can't remember what it was, but you could do these ridiculous, almost anime style moves where you'd kick and the ball would the pitch would catch fire and you could beat each other up. What game was that? It was a soccer game.
There was a game on the Amiga called Speedball, which was sort of like a brutal. It was more like a bit more like rugby, but that was really brutal.
That was brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that game you're talking about is like Roy Keane Soccer or something like that.
Roy Keane Soccer.
I don't know.
No.
So, Clay, then, if you're going to say FIFA, now you have to pick something else.
I was banking
Oh, you're
on.
going to say it as
I was
well? Oh, I'm glad.
banking on FIFA there. If I had to choose another, I would pick another genre of games. I'm going to go even further. I'm going to go all sports games.
All
sports
totally
games.
feel that.
Wait, what about racing? Racing is a sport.
I'm going to clarify that involve a ball.
Have you not played lacrosse?
Technically.
Yeah, there was a lacrosse game released last week.
Yeah, we played it. We streamed it.
You did?
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh.
How did you like playing lacrosse?
18.
Did you want a hamburger and French fries and a Budweiser after playing?
I had no idea what.
America, we stole it from the Native Americans, but it's our sport.
Okay, right. I'm going to bring some sense to this entire ordeal. Who came up with this segment anyway? It's a train wreck. But for me, my pick is Metal Gear Solid after the original one on the PlayStation.
I agree
Everyone
with
after
that. Absolutely agree with that.
Off the rails.
Okay, just going to put this out there. Kojima is overrated.
Oh, there's people coming for you, Ross.
Yeah.
There's people coming. It's
Old words.
The Dorito Pope has got your name and number now, and he's coming for you.
In all honesty, I wanted to like Metal Gear Solid 5, for example. I looked at it, it looked like my type of game, some stealth action, a little bit of out there storytelling. I played the game for 30 minutes, as I said last week, and I will never, ever go back. I did download it again. Not ever going to play it. I've decided it's probably the most overrated series in the history of gaming.
It made you want to punch yourself in the face, much like Rich here.
I think so. Rich and his, Rich Stone from
The
True
Witcher?
Achievements hates the Witcher series.
No, he hates you for liking the Witcher series.
I love The Witcher. When Rich was mentioning all these RPGs, I'm thinking, these are all in my top 5 games of all time.
I haven't got time for that.
Well, anyway, we want to know what you would put in Room 101, or the bin, as we're going to call this, in case the BBC sues.
Please don't, BBC, seriously. I don't have enough money for a lawsuit.
I think it's on Channel 4 now, so you're probably fine.
Probably fine. But we want to know what yours are. We're also going to put up a Twitter poll later in the week, just to see exactly who you agree with. So I'm willing to guess that Rich is not winning this one.
What? You might get the troll vote.
That's all I'm going for.
Right, okay. But I think this is probably a good point to wrap up the pod. Yeah. So, Rich, thank you for taking the time to join us again. Almost 2 years after you initially joined us, can you believe?
Wow, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Almost,
2 years older and 2 years wiser.
After spending 2 years with Uncle Jesse, my brain cells are diminishing by the second. But for another week, Xbox, turn off.
You're listening to Xbox One Party Chat Podcast, the official podcast of the Xbox One subreddit.
Let's do this.